And the guru is someone who brings us from darkness into light. It can also be someone who shows us the light, or somebody who unblocks the flow of light into us by removing the darkness. Now, within all of these three definitions, there are variations, obviously, but in the kind of grander scheme of things, once we go away from the specifics of definition linguistically, the guru really is the teacher. But a guru and a yoga teacher are different. So I'm a yoga teacher. I learned from a guru. And I attempt to practice and to have a teaching practice that shows us all how to align with our higher selves through the medium of yoga. But the lineages of yoga that have spread across the world, all of those began with gurus. So the teachings are, serious and excellent and very rich and full of deep wisdom. So in today's focus, I'm just helping us to be able to see yoga in everything. And in doing so, in a very friendly, kind of amusing way, we can therefore look to what we would call difficult people as a kind of accidental guru. I'm not being irreverent. This isn't that we're giving somebody who isn't trained or enlightened the title of guru. I'm not cheapening that at all. I'm just suggesting that in terms of being vast and infinite and seeing our whole entire lives as the yoga syllabus, that we can learn from even the most untrained of and unenlightened people. If we are truly open to learning and truly open to self-improvement, spiritual connection, and evolution in this lifetime, we can learn from every situation and every person. And as we know from life, even before we ever stood on a yoga mat, we often learn faster and more effectively when we're outside our comfort zone, when we are having a spot of difficulty, and when we meet awkwardness or conflict in others, because it encourages us to go deeper within ourselves. So the person that I suggested you call up into your minds earlier, that difficult person, that person that you might be having arguments with or conflict with, or that you might feel weird around or very uncomfortable, that person can be the guru. Just to clarify, it's not guru in the real sense, but we can take ourselves into the light because of the friction that we experience around this person. Be it physically while we're around them, or equally well, be it psychologically around the subject of them. So the gift of guru in this case is that often it comes in the most annoying entity in your life. The person who activates your annoyance can be the greatest of teachers if we genuinely wish to learn. And so if we're blessed enough to travel to India and actually be with the Guru, absolutely, we can taste the light. But if we're in a position where we either can't or don't want to, there is an infinite library of learning just from daily life. We are householder yogis. We don't necessarily have to live in an ashram. The rishis and the gurus themselves said that yoga does not belong to India. It is a gift from India. So we can navigate through the teachings in our own common, grounded way. And so if we're open to the concept of everything in capital letters, everything being the syllabus, then even the most provocative and annoying person in your day can be guru. This also allows us to return to the heart, to return to the seat of the soul, to return to compassion or infinity or both. So any or all of the conflict-based tensions we can observe from a higher place. And I don't mean a snobby, lofty, snooty place full of notions. I mean in alignment with the best part of us. So in the subject of somebody who's creating that kind of adrenal response, that butterflies in the tummy, the feeling of the heart skipping a beat, or feeling of dread in meeting that person, feeling of dread while we're talking to them. When we identify only with the psychosocial elements of our conflicts, we're a little bit limited. And we do have the choice to actually break down those limits. And we can observe, it takes practice, but we can observe those conflicts. Not as a kind of examination or test, like the Leaving Cert or something, but rather as the classroom itself, the place of learning. I use the word examination and also the word test because in Christianity, we'll often hear, particularly in the older generation, we'll hear somebody say, he was sent to test me. And it's a really good little saying. It's an easily understood thought. If you're trying to align with a life of goodness and meaningfulness, and someone triggers negativity within you, it's a test of your stability, a test in your faith, a test in your goodness. However, let's expand on that. Let's look at it not just as a test, but as a large, vast field of learning. Because let's face it, there'll always be annoying ones. And just looking at annoying people as a test limits us to a kind of nervousness, defensiveness, resistance, especially if we know them well. So the practice always is to open with love, to open with love to ourselves unconditionally, and to kind of laugh, not in a teasing way, in a very loving way, at our tendency to struggle. As the anxieties and the defensiveness rise up, so that we can, with this kind of humorous, playful attitude, we can retrain ourselves to recognize that this is all learning, this is all finding the light. And in yoga, when we say to find the light, in the context of Guru, Gu and Ru, we mean uncovering the enlightenment that's already there. There is wicked darkness in the world, and there is also light. And so even if you don't meet that person today, even if they're in a different country, your own thought processes in your mind are conflict enough. So you can look at that landscape inside. And you can open with love. And rather than succumbing to endless dialogue about what we should have said or what we're going to say, or if you don't know the person, what you could say or what you would say, just observe all of the little nuggets and ingredients that come up for you personally, emotionally, psychologically, and of course, physically. There are these impulses and sensations, chemical balances, imbalances, and rebalancing. All of that stuff. Observe all of that. It's all the curriculum. It's all part of it. It's why we're here. And we can be blasé while we're all together in this meditation class, and it can be easier said than done. We know that too. We know all of that too. We're just playing with some concepts here so that we can use everything we encounter inside and out as a way to deepen our yoga. That depth is the goal. We don't have to travel to find connection with our spirit. We must just deepen and learn. Just breathe into this now. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. In. X. In.